up, everybody? It's your favorite Jedi who believes that Republic credits will do fine. Favorite nerd, and today we are looking at the Hot Toys recently released Qui Gon Jinn. And I'm anxious to take a look at this guy. He came out recently in the Ahsoka video we were talking. People wanted to know my view on that. I might try to dig into that at some point. But not today. Today we're going to look at this Hot Toys figure, and the first impressions were very positive. I'm anxious to take a look at the rest of it and see how I feel. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started, and we'll start with accessories. Of course, he comes with his display base. We have Qui Gon Jinn etched in there, as well as the Star Wars logo and motif, kind of very on par with most of their stands. And it's the room, the control room, or wherever where he met his demise, unfortunately. So it comes with the two-pronged tension piece that goes betwixt his legs, and otherwise looks good. So he comes with an array of hands. Most of them are gesturing posing hands, which are nice to have because, you know, we don't always get those sorts of accessories when it comes to hands. A lot of them are very specific, but I mean, this is a gesturing hand, gesturing hand, gesturing hand, gesturing hand, gesturing hand, and then we have a holding hand here. That's in addition to the two lightsaber holding hands that we saw in the opening footage. So quite a nice assortment display-wise. While we're on the topic of hands, he comes with two replacement wrist ball hinges, so they'll go up and down, swivel at both ends, so you can get in and out as well. It's kind of standard fare, but always appreciated. And since we're talking about replacing things, should a couple of little chrome buttons, buckles, and leather surfaces fall off, you can replace them with a few that they give you. Forgive this, I'm working on a diorama right now. It's paint, so forgive it. So you get his little communicator thing with a couple of different plugins. It's a really nice sculpt, painted with bronze and silver, and looks quite nice, beautiful. And then we have a Mace Windu with the kind of, you know, it's the blue translucent with the rivets in the sculpt, which kind of looks like it's like, you know, which looks right. And then the same for Yoda. And then one of those, and that's blue translucent as well, and looks good. And they just peg in to the little bit there, and then you can hold it and have a bit of a look. And he comes with his shaver, which is also his. You can test. I think you can communicate on this. You can also, you know, check out the old midichlorian count. You know, your standard fare. So he comes with one of those as well. Nice sculpt work, and not a lot of paint work. That might be accurate to the film, I would imagine. I'm not 100% sure, but looks the part. I mean, it was instantly recognizable when I got it out of the case. And I'm pretty sure it's meant to be held in this holding hand, and he holds it just fine. He comes with this. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not exactly sure what this is. Only thing I can think of, is this the thing that he got Anakin's blood with? I don't know. I don't know what this is. It's sculpted nice enough. It's painted nice enough. It's not in the instructions. So I'm sure it's in the movie at some point. I have no clue. It's got me. I don't know. He comes with his poncho. It's a nice material. We'll see how it lays here in a second. It does have the extra kind of bit down there at the end. You know, the extra shade of gray. It's nice enough. There's some stitching inside underneath. His head goes obviously there, and then the arms go where this is stitched together, which is up through the center and then around. So we'll go through that real quick. So to disrobe, as it were, just pull his arms back and peel the cloak off. And then in order to get the poncho on, you want, it says the arms to be, I guess, straight up. So I guess maneuver, there you go. Just maneuver the tunic, you know, the underrobes the best you can. Remove the head. There's a Zombie Girl song that's related to that. Hold on one second. Let's angle the camera up a taste. And then you want to kind of get his arms in between the stitching lines and bring the whole thing down, and then put the head back on, and you have it. And I'll show you what this looks like in the final thoughts kind of put together, but that's the steps on how to do it. Actually, scratch that. We'll go ahead and take a look now. And yeah, it works great. It might be one of the kind of like swap out robe outfit features that actually both tend to work well. Like the cloak works really well, and so does the poncho. So good on him. Of course, he has to come with the lightsaber and lightsaber accessories. You have the lightsaber hilt, which looks spot on the money. The silver looks perfect. The sculpt of the black looks perfect. The red looks perfect. It's in there. It's in the game. And then you have the green translucent rod. You know what I want? White rod through the center, green translucent around it. Until then, I'm going to continue mentioning it. You can pull this out of the hilt, and then you can have the hilt by itself. And of course, you can stow that. We'll talk about that in a bit. But you can also use the swinging effect. They like this. I'm not sure I do. Some people may. I don't know. It goes from a lighter, like a more opaque translucent to a less opaque translucent to give the illusion of a swing. It's not really my bag, but if it is your bag, I have good news. It includes one. And more good news, he'll hold it like a champ. Now, we talked about clipping it onto the hilt. It has this piece here, which is like a smaller piece that fits in. Or you can go with this piece, which is a bit extended. And then that, with the extended notch, will slide right down into the belt holder. So it can be stowed, which is nice. And lastly, he comes with the light up arm, where everything is hardwired and it can swap out. It's actually an easily swapped out arm. Some of these arms are a pain to swap out. This one is not. It's easily swapped out because of the baggy sleeves that he has. I'll show you that when we go over the figure, and then it has 3 batteries for it. I'm not going to go through it and light it up. I'm pressed for time. Take my word for it. It works. Another problem that I often have is I end up forgetting that it's that the electronics are run through it, and I'll try to do some crazy pose with the hand. I'll end up breaking the wires inside, and I never use the electronics, so I'm just going to save myself a little bit of heartache here. But yeah, everything else is the same, you know, down to this stuff, like the fabrics here. It's going to be seamless. Looking at kind of the closest I could find, and it's not the greatest, but I think it looks pretty spot on. Now, I've found other pictures where his beard looks a bit grayer. You know, I will just have to chalk that up to kind of subjectivity and how you feel about it and whether or not it works for you. But, I mean, I can tell you, I think that the face sculpts are usually hits, but every now and then they miss. It really hurts when it's a miss, because I feel like oftentimes that's what we're paying for, is the face sculpt and paint, and I don't feel shorted here. I feel like I got what I paid for. It's very, very, very accurate. And then moving on to wardrobe, it's pretty much spot on. Like the amount of wraps around the waist, the 3 inner robes on each side. You know, I could pose the cloak a bit better to pull that off a bit more, but it's pretty much spot on the money. Now, I know what is misleading about this is the front tabards, but that's because they're more overlapped in the picture and they're more separated with the figure. I could probably sort that out a bit more if I wanted to, but I'm pretty happy with the overall look. I mean, even the boots, everything looks pretty much spot on here. All right, let's talk about paint and deco. So, the head sculpt, I mean, it's just like the pronounced brow, you know, and like the deep set eyes, and they just got it right. You know, the forehead with the aging and the beard, especially on the side of the face, like the hair, the hair gets in the way of articulation, and we'll get there, but the sculpt and paint of it is just so bloody good. Really well done. The belt, once again, like the plastic bits are all fully sculpted, painted, washed, etc. Like just decoed out. And the hands, kind of par for the course with their flesh hands. And then the only other plastic bit left, I think, is the bottom part of the shoe here that's sewn into this part. And once again, like the worn leather look, the sole of the shoe, like it's just, the plastic work is phenomenal. And then the soft goods themselves, we have a couple of different fabrics here. So we have the pants, which does feel similar to the tabards. It might be the same. Let me see if I can move this at all, or if that's pretty much stuck. Yeah, so you can get it to be a little bit more, you know, overlapped if you so desire. And then we have the faux leather for the belt, also for the top of the boots. And we have the cloak. It's the same as Anakin's and Obi-Wan, so the same material. It also has a wire in the hood. I'll try to get that going at some point during this review to show how good we can pull it off, if at all. The baggier pants, which do work well, and it's like a thinner fabric. So you do get a good bit of movement. Oh, and the other thing that is to mention is the wraps underneath. So the sleeves and then the wrap underneath the sleeves to cover up the forearms, and it also covers up the ball hinge joint there. So there are some issues with articulation that we're going to get to here in a second, but honestly, not a whole lot of it has to do with the soft goods. Some of it does, but not a whole lot of it. The soft goods are really well implemented. The stitching is in scale. It doesn't look obnoxiously big like it used to. Like there's actually like a little bit of wornness to it. Like it doesn't look like it's fresh out of the washer and dryer. Yeah, it's really well done. All right, well, let's go over articulation. I'm going to take the head off so that you can see it's a double ball peg. In terms of how well it works, that's a separate thing entirely. And I will tell you, getting his head on and off of that ball peg is not the easiest fit in the world. But now, with it on there, let's have a look. So you can get not really much down due to the hair and beard, not really much up due to the hair, a little bit of swivel due to the hair, and a little bit of confused Jedi look due to the hair. So not great. Then we have, I'm guessing, a double ball peg from the chest into the abdomen, and then maybe a single. Using both, you can get them about that far across. So once again, not awesome. Forward to about there, back to about there. Not the most versatile in that regard. Versatile. All right, and then we have disc hinge shoulders that plug into a ball peg in the chest. That gets up past 90 degrees, so that's nice. Where the ball peg operates does get you a fair amount of butterfly, so that's nice. Proper bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, so that's nice, and we've already talked about the wrist. So all of that works really well. Same for the other side. Now, we have, I can't tell. I'm going to guess ball pegs. It could be universals. Either way, it gets you out to about there. Forward and back is a little limited. There's padding, a little bit in the stomach area here and a little bit in the legs to kind of give him a more beefier size, I guess. Thigh swivel, that's there. Double jointed knee, no problem there. Oh, and mine just came out. I hate when that happens because sometimes it's a pain with the soft goods. And then we have double ball peg for the ankles. That'll get you an ankle tilt up, down, and a great rocker. Double ball pegs for the ankles always work well as long as they're well toleranced. So, yeah, I mean, a mixed bag, right? Lower body works decent. Arms work well. Torso's a bit of a wash. And the head is actually not great either, so to speak. And I will say it feels like I almost want to take the head off the ball peg a little bit. Like I feel like it's a little low on the neck, but maybe that's just, maybe my mind's playing tricks on me. And then I have him on my prequel shelf with what you see here. And I plan on putting Mace there, and I think that'll do it, you know. We'll see. Final thoughts-wise, we'll start with the negatives. The main negative for me is the hair and beard. It gets in the way of articulation, which does get in the way of posing. A lot of the figure is actually really posable and lends itself to it, but then you get to these few little bumps in the road, and then all of a sudden, all bets are off. And those bumps, ironically, for Hot Toys have nothing to do with the soft goods. They are 100% about the plastics and the hair and the way it sits on. It's kind of the same problem that Marvel Legends faced. I mean, obviously at a different level of quality, but it's the same type of deal. When the hair just gets in the way of any real movement, same situation here. Positives wise though, there's a ton to address. All the accessories are appropriate, except for that one, I don't know what it is, but I'm guessing that's appropriate because the rest are appreciated and thoughtful, to include them going above and beyond the call of order or call of duty, in my opinion, such as giving you the Yoda and the mace in order for him to communicate with. The soft goods work perfectly. They're perfectly executed pretty much across the board. Few bumps in the road here and there, but for the most part, I mean, really, really, really exceptionally well done. The face sculpt and paint are 100% on the money. So So therefore, there's so much right about this in all of the places that really matter. It's definitely a strong recommend from me. Plus, I love the prequels. I'd love to see more from him. And I love Qui Gon. He's one of the most interesting characters in Star Wars to me, and one of the only true Jedi, in my opinion, that we've ever seen, along with Episode 8 Luke and Ahsoka after she quit the Order. So yeah, really, really, really strong offering. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Till next time, take care.